Welcome, race fans, back here in New Hampshire. Of course, the Cowboy, I'm J.D. Webb. I spent basically the whole week here, camped out in the ETV Live Winnebago down here in back of the garages. But we are here tonight for Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, and everybody's in the house here tonight. And calling the action with me up here in the booth, Dakota Ehrman, swapping jackets. He's going to work with me upstairs here. Down on pit road, it's going to be Ben Kilcrease tonight. John, the bad boy Westling. Of course, we call him the legend around the office. He'll be working the cameras for you here tonight at Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But Dakota, let's take him back to Daytona last week. And the top three guys, David Lanza, who won the race, Guy Snyder, Chad Cole coming in third, every one of them started in 30th or worst position.
Yeah, JD, it's all about survival there, and I think they kind of proved that. Some of them hanging in the back, some of them just trying to race it out. But that's a track that you don't have to qualify up front to finish well, and I think I know that well myself, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, there's only about 13 of them managed to finish on the lead lap. They did have their problems. I believe they had 4 cautions. Of course, about 30 lead changes at Daytona. Of course, that's to be expected. You never know who's going to be there at the end on these plate tracks. But David Lanza certainly was. He picked up the trophy at Daytona last week. Guy Snyder with a solid second-place finish. Chad Cole, the favorite, coming in third with a good top-5 finish for him. So I'll tell you what, while we're talking about the points, why don't we go ahead and take them down through and let everybody know who's who and who's where here at the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series standings. Landon Huffman, guys, he still occupies that top seat, and we're going to be speaking to him here just a little bit after qualifying session here at New Hampshire. But he's in the number one seat here, 694 points, but 31 points behind, and trying to catch up Chad Cole, who finished third last week, sitting in the number 2 spot.
JD, Guy Snyder sitting third. Remember, he ran up front. I believe he was top 3 last week. He's only 33 points back. You could be seeing a really good battle for second place here this week, as he's only 2 points behind Chad Cole, 33 back from the leader. John Abbott sitting fourth.
And Adam Roberts, who was a no-show at Daytona last week, he's sitting in the center seat in 5th position, guys, 151 points behind Landon Huffman. And, of course, in 6th is going to be Joseph Hayes. Joseph Hayes finishing way outside the top 10 at Daytona, finishing 16th. Number 6 coming into New Hampshire tonight. Oh, I got to keep on going, don't I? I forgot where I'm at. All right, sitting in 7th position, Doug Roth. He finished 19th at Daytona last week, guys. He's 170 points. Dakota, now it's your turn.
Joey Gattina sitting 8th. He's 177 points back. Look for him. All he's got to do is get about 7 spots, I believe, this race ahead of Doug Roth, and we could be seeing a battle for just 7th place right there in the points. And Chad Schilling sitting 8th. He's about 198 points back from the leader.
Well, I totally messed that one up. I'll tell you what, usually it's 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 here, but somewhere down the line I screwed up. My fault. Sitting in the number 10 spot down here, of course, finishing first at Daytona last week, 226 points behind the leader is going to be David Lanza. And I'll tell you, David Lanza hoping for a good finish here tonight to keep the momentum going. But tonight, 120 laps on the board for New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and I believe we've got Landon Huffman on board tonight. Landon, are you with us?
10-4, loud and clear.
All right, Landon, welcome to the booth up here. And, we were talking here a couple of days ago. We managed to pick up a video of from your GoPro at Hickory Speedway. Can you tell us where Hickory Speedway is? And
well, we're about an hour from Charlotte. I really wish iRacing would get it on the game. It's a pretty sweet little racetrack. You got a high groove, you got a high groove and a low groove. You can run either way. But in the race, I started on the pole, and I run in the limited late model division, which is just a NASCAR late model stock car with just a little bit different motor. It's just a little bit slower. It's a lot cheaper to run in. doesn't cost as much for tires. We run on used tires, and it's really a good learner car. It teaches you a lot about racecraft and really gets you prepared, for a bigger division, like late model stock or even K&M Pro Series or Truck Series.
Well, we pulled a little footage off your video there, about a minute's worth, and for all the viewers out there, this is the reason why Landon Huffman's at the top of the heap here on any given night. He's qualified on the pole here at New Hampshire tonight. He's number 1 in the points. And that video is pretty indicative of the reason why. Landon, you started on the pole, you went backwards quite a ways, and then managed to get all the way up in front, but what happened there at the end?
Well, me and the 55 have had run-ins before. He's took me out several races. And I'd gotten to the point where I put myself in position to have a shot at winning. I probably should have waited to move him there on the last lap, but instead I got into him there in 3 and 4 and moved him out of the way, got up beside him coming to the light, and I guess he didn't like me moving him, and he pinched me down coming up off 4 and doored me and got me sideways. And after that I was just hanging on. I got doored and or T-boned, and it messed up truck arms and some other stuff. But I mean, it was a good night, just didn't get the finish I was hoping for.
And the question you're probably asked a lot here, Landon, I'm sure, is it how close is the sim racing here, like you're doing here tonight? How close is it to the actual deal?
It's similar. A lot of the physics to the cars is really what's different, but this game really teaches you racecraft. It teaches you, where to put yourself on the racetrack, and it teaches you how to pass. Teaches you just how to put yourself in position to win races. I mean, it shows you, it helps you make the right decision, and it helps you, learn how to race and be smart.
All right, outstanding. Landon, thanks for joining us up here in the booth. You qualified on the pole here at New Hampshire tonight. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it, JD.
All right, Landon Huffman, who 16 years old, cowboy. I'll tell you what, and you saw that little 1-minute video clip we pulled from his GoPro camera on the top of his car. But I'll tell you what, 16 years old, and that's the reason why he's number 1 in the points here. Qualified on the pole here at New Hampshire. And we'll see what he can do here. But right now, we're going to go ahead and send it on down trackside. I believe the Cactus Cuties are standing by to present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and thank you to the Cactus Cuties for that outstanding rendition of the national anthem. Best I've ever heard. Well, let's go ahead and take them down through the lineup here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Landon Huffman on the pole here tonight. with a solid 30.618. Starting on the outside in that number 25 machine tonight, Scott Heckard. In number 3 position, Alan Lewis. On the inside, on the outside of him, in that number 4 position, the number 1 of John Gregorio. David Lanza, who won at Daytona last week, starting on the inside in 5th position. On the outside of him in 6th, Adam Roberts. Starting in 7th position, Dwayne Vincent in that number 13 machine. Chad Cole in that number 17 DeWalt machine. He'll be starting at 8th on the outside. Back on the inside, Jeff Addison starting in 9th position at number 94 machine. And in 10th, Steve Ritter in the number 16. Dakota?
Starting 11th, the number 22, we have Ronnie Potts. On the outside of him, Bobby Terrell. On the inside of the next row, Eric Arnold, number 47, and outside him, Steve Gottschalk. And in the inside of the next row, we have Greg Netherwood driving for Joey Gattina this week, and on the outside of him, Tony Kaler. In 17th position, we have James Mullins, and on the outside of him, Jimmy North. On the next row on the inside, Jay Horton, looking for a good finish tonight. And on the outside of him as well, in the number 26, Jonathan Goodell.
Guy Snyder with a solid second place finish at Daytona last week on the inside, 21 in 22nd position. And the number 2 machine, Matt Lacrosse, RC Rigdon. He'll be starting 23rd tonight. On the outside of him in 24th is going to be Mike Montesi. Jason Elrod, he'll be starting in 25th position on the inside. Outside him, the number 10, John Abbott. In 27th position on the inside, Todd Granger. Doug Roth, he'll be starting in 28th position in that 43 car on the outside. Ed Williams Jr. starting 29th in the number 65. Outside him, it'll be Bruce Perry in the 30th position.
In 31st, we'll have Jay Randall Watkins in the number 3. Outside of him, the 85 of Nathan Bowers. And then the guy that you usually see up front who did not qualify, R.J. Williams. And we have Patrick Cahy and Joseph Hayes.
All right, and let's take it real quick down to pit road. Let's go to Ben Kilcrease for an update from crew chiefs down there. Ben, what are you hearing down there?
JD, I'm not really hearing that much. They're just hoping there's not as much cautions in this race as we've seen over the past week here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It should be a great race. Only looking for one stop today on fuel.
All right, one stop on fuel here tonight, but I'll tell you what, tires may be an issue as we get ready to go green flag racing here tonight. Landon Huffman picking up the green flag with a good start here. Scott Heckert up on the outside in that number 25 machine, and so far so good going into turn 1, coming off turn 2, heading down the backstretch, Dakota, 2x2 up there in front, single file all the way back to about Adam Roberts back here in 7th position, that number 88 with 17, Chad Cole on the bottom.
Yeah, JD, if you want to look at your leader currently, look at him sporting a nice little pink paint job this week.
Yeah, you know, and that's another thing I forgot to do today. He actually sent me a picture, a photograph of that pink car, and I'll tell you, we had some laughs the other night when we were talking to him. But get a load of that pink machine out there.
I believe the rear of it, if I can get a better view of it, I believe it says get used to this view. You're going to be seeing it a lot, JD.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, if you catch him here on Monday nights racing here at Real Sim Racing, you know, that's a view that a lot of these guys have seen before. So, you know, another reason why he's the points leader here in the Full Throttle Cup Series on Monday nights. But looks like these guys are being a little light-footed on the gas pedal from what I saw in practice today, Dakota. Single file all the way back. Really nothing happening. 94 getting in the wall a little bit. Ritter in 16, in the number 16, 10th position, cuts down to the inside.
JD, they're kind of single file up front, but I'll tell you what, in the back there, we're going 3 wide. Those cars are getting into each other. RC Rigdon, man, he is trying to wheel that thing. He's almost ran up to the wall. He's almost charged up the track and hit somebody. Man, he is driving this car to try to get to the front.
All right, and I'm hearing a 91 having a bad time of it here tonight as well. 4 laps in the books here at New Hampshire, and you know, a little bit about this track. The 1 mile track is basically flat, about 7 or so degree banking in the turn, just enough to drain the water off in case the rains come here in New Hampshire. But other than that, it's an old track. I don't believe this track has been repaved for quite some time, guys. So you know, it's a very flat track and a difficult track to get around.
Guy that's not having any problems getting around it though is Guy Snyder. Remember, he started 21st. He's up to the 19th position, and it looks like he's been trying to move forward, JD.
And then back here in 18th position, the 91 machine of Steve Gottschalk back here, guys, side by side with the 27. That's going to be Guy Snyder up there in in 18th position up here. Gottschalk was the one that was having a little bit of difficulty coming off turns. Managed to save it here a couple of laps ago, but a little heavy on the gas pedal almost brought him around. But you're right about Guy Snyder. Snyder's on the move, going around the 81 on the top here. So move Guy Snyder up one more notch.
Another guy having just a few problems here is David Lantis. He almost clips the one of John Gregorio as he slides way up the track. He looks like he has his hands full right now trying to hold on that 33 machine.
You bet, and apologize to the viewers over in the chat room. I failed to start the live stats here. I just started it up, so you might have to refresh your screen to get the live stats to come up. But in the meantime, out here on the track, guys, with 7 laps in the books here, and I'm still thinking that we're being a little light on the throttle here. R.C. Rigdon back here in the 20 machine, 21st position, or now in the 20th position as he gets around Mike Montesi. Montesi was putting the pressure on Rigdon there for a little bit, but guys trying to sort this track out here a little bit. Watching them during practice, I was watching these guys. They appeared to be going into the turns a little bit too heavy, but right now under race conditions, guys, I'm seeing a whole different ball game being played out here tonight.
Well, JD, I think that depends. So we have a caution on the track.
All right, and the first caution coming out here tonight, and I'm hearing it's the 16 car of Steve Ritter, guys. See if we can roll it back here and see what happened. I don't think he had any help. This might have come all on his own. He's got, or no, he did have some help. I can't make out the car behind him, guys. It might have been the 94 machine of Jeff Addison. I think it was Jeff Addison, John, to help the 16 go around, and takes a little bit of an e-ticket ride up into the outside wall here a little bit. All right, let's send it on down to Magic Fingers for the E-wind.
Yeah, guys, let's see if we can see what happened here with Ritter. He was having a pretty good run. He's kind of in the back, but he's probably trying to take it easy here. And that 94 machine's going to help him around, shove him into the outside wall. Not going to take a big lick here, but definitely going to take a little damage.
You bet. And you know what, Dakota, let's talk about that damage a little bit. You know, he basically slammed the driver's side door into the wall there a little bit, so probably not going to be able to get to that door handle very well. But you know, this is a 1 mile track. How much damage can you take before it really starts to affect the aerodynamics here?
Well, really, I wouldn't say it's going to be a whole lot of damage you can take before it starts affecting the car aerodynamically, but the way you have to drive this track, I mean, if you saw, it's almost like they're not turning sometimes. I don't know that little bit of damage there is actually going to affect his car, JD.
All right, and of course that's going to bring everybody down on pit road, guys. And any changes, Ben?
No, guys, mainly they're just going to take a few tires, get some new rubber on here. Though a notable mention right here that stayed out on that caution, Landon Huffman, Jay Horton, quite a few other guys. Does look like, no, they're not going to call him down. Landon Huffman's going to stay out. Maybe these guys are just trying to pick up some positions. Track position is key here. We've only been 10 laps on those tires. I don't know if it's worth the gamble or not. What about you? What do you think, Dakota? You're more of a race car driver.
This track itself, I don't personally drive on a whole lot, but I've noticed people have stayed out, and tires have never been a huge concern here. People, they'll take 2 when they come down to pit road just to gain that track position. I don't think the tires are all that important. Landon Huffman, he had a second lead, especially with everybody staying out behind him. I think he's going to be all right, just staying out right here right now.
All right, and Joseph Hayes, Nathan Bowers, Ed Williams makes it down pit road there. So Landon Huffman, Jay Horton, looks like Tad Granger and John Abbott staying out this time. It's all about track position. Fastest time on the track on pit road tonight. 17 car of Chad Cole, 5.5 second pit stop. That's going to be a two-tire change for that number 17. First caution coming out here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, guys. Why don't we go ahead and get a couple of our online plugs out of the way. The sponsor for this series, the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, the VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Seat, a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl, who understands what it means to have a comfortable racing seat. Now, who better than to design a racing chassis, guys, for your sim racing habit than a real race car driver? This design features a fully adjustable racing seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount sold separately. High quality and affordable alternative to a lot of those others that cost thousands of dollars if you've seen them on the internet. $349 plus shipping. Get it over at BobEarlRacing.com. BobEarlRacing.com. And we'd like to give a big shout out to Bob Earl. He's put one of these racing chassis up for a season championship prize here for Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. So we're looking forward to that at the end of the year. They're getting doubled up here, guys, getting ready for the restart. Of course, up in front, still Landon Huffman, Jay Horton, Todd Granger, John Abbott, David Lanza, who won at Daytona last week, as we get the green flag.
JD tagged Ranger right there in the 8. He was sitting third. He just spun his tires big time. He's going backwards in a hurry. So 3 wide, almost 4 wide going to that corner there. I got really close.
And a caution coming out again here, guys. I'm hearing it's Mike Montesi in that number 20 car, and right here on the restart. So I don't know that might have had something to do with the 8 car Dakota way up in front. A big checkup probably. Right on the restart. Looks like the 20 actually got punted by somebody behind. So that may have been indicative of the tire spin from the 8 car, checking everybody up.
Nice.
Let's take it on to John for the rewind here.
Yeah, guys, let's cue this up, see if we can see where this started. 20 cars already 3 wide. Looked like the 81 got a bad restart there. Kind of bunched everybody up. And he just gets a nice little love tap, boy. And I believe this is Tad's first race here with RSR. And wow, what a way to break him in.
Takes a big hit from the 2 car as well. And, of course, you see the 20 car down there. He's still sitting down there on the apron under a cloud of smoke. So he may be done for the night as he tries to limp that thing back in to the pits. But the second caution coming out here, guys, just lickety-split. So why don't we go ahead and step away. We're going to take our first commercial break of the night. You're watching live ETV Live, Cowboy, from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Full Throttle Cup Series. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. All right, welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway here, working our second caution, the 20 car, getting the boot here a little bit, right here on a restart, guys. So, and I don't know, looking down the list here to see if they moved it behind the garage. I don't know whether the 20 car is going to be able to make it back. I don't think he did. Mike Montesi, I believe, is going to be out of the race here tonight. On the hauler and headed for the barn, as we say here on ETV Live, but still out in front, Landon Huffman, Jay Horton, John Abbott having a pretty decent run here early in the race. David Lanza, who started, I believe, in 33rd position at Daytona last week, goes on, moves up through the field, Dakota, and takes the trophy home from Daytona International Motor Speedway last week. So David Lanza looking for a good night here tonight at New Hampshire.
Yeah, and so far it's looking pretty good. As I believe he's sitting about 4th position right now, JD. He's in that spot where he can get that finish he wants, just like last week.
And Jimmy North, who finished in 7th position last week, guys. He led the most laps, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry, wrong column. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. I believe it was Landon Huffman that led the most laps last week at Daytona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and it was if you remember, the last few laps were just about crazy. As everybody was blocking, everybody was pushing, and that's Daytona for everybody. And I'm kind of surprised the points leader would be able to, do as good as he did at a plate track, because that's kind of like anybody can win most of the time, and except for myself, because I blow everything up. But as we're about to go green, Landon Huffman taking the green flag, JD.
You bet. This is going to be restart number 3, actually restart number 2 since the green flag, but second caution here tonight as they all get kind of shaken up here. And I'll tell you what, the 25 car up here in 6th position, guys, Scott Heckert up here making a drastic move to the inside. He's got his teammate in the 83 up on the outside here, coming down the backstretch, going into turn 3. Heckert's going to go ahead.
That 83 on the restart, he did not move, and that 33's been held up. So he's getting bumped. Everybody's bumping.
Bump drafting in New Hampshire Speedway, guys. I didn't know you could do such a thing here, but this time around, Cowboy, I'm seeing a little bit different racing from the restart here. So it's about positions here, and this is something that we saw here last week. We saw some pretty heavy-duty racing the first 3, 4, 5 laps off of a restart, because after that, you got to start taking care of the equipment. Tires come into play here, and then it's all about just maintaining, setting up a rhythm here, and get them when you can. But the first 3, 4 laps, maybe 5 laps, Dakota, it's all about track position, trying to get there.
Yeah, JD, and David Lanza, we were just talking about him. He is getting there. He's going underneath his teammate, Jay Horton, in the 83. He's going to clear him, and he's going to walk off, JD.
David Lanza on the move in 6th position up here, guys. I'll tell you what, looking for a repeat from last week. And moving back here through the field here a little bit, the 83 car, Jay Horton, he's backing it down here quite a bit, guys. He's still occupying space up on that outside lane, coming through turn 2 here, heading down the backstretch. 13 is going to gain a position on him. That's going to be Dwayne Vincent up here for 10th. So Jay Horton and that number 83 machine going backwards here just a little bit, guys, and it almost looks like he's having a little bit of handling problems. He goes way wide into the turn, coming off of turn 4, trying to bend that thing around here a little bit. 18 now alongside.
JD, I'm looking back here in the back now at the 8, Attack Ranger. Remember him spinning his
3 wide, 3 wide going into the turn. The 1, John Gregorio on the bottom, the 18 in the middle. That's going to be 3 wide coming off the turn here to the 83 on the outside. They're able to hold it. Wow. I'll tell you what, 3 wide at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, guys, that's unheard of. Oh, and the 83 just punched the 18. Oh, and he hangs on to it. 83 machine got right into the back of the 18, guys, and the 18 almost getting completely sideways, manages to hang on to it up on the outside up there. So I'll tell you what, if they're not racing up in front, they're racing in the back.
Yeah, JD, and they're pretty much 2 wide, and like I said, like you said, like I said, they're going 3 wide. I mean, they're doing some things that I didn't think were possible at this kind of a track.
Not the kind of stuff that you usually see at New Hampshire, that's for sure. It's basically a flat track, and to try to go 3 wide and try to hang on to a position, I'll tell you what, got to hand it to the 83 machine up there. Outstanding job, able to maintain that position up there and pretty much stay right where he was. Oh, the 18 gets sideswiped by the 88 car. So the 18 machine, Bobby Terrell up here in 12th position, in trouble here tonight, guys, as the 88 comes alongside and just basically scoots him up the track here a little bit.
And the 47 coming underneath him now, I believe it's the 47 of Eric Arnold. Looks like he might be able to complete the pass here. As he does, he's going to be clear of the 18 going into turn number 3. 18's going to pull the crossover. He's going to come right back underneath that 47 of Eric Arnold. So,
I'm watching what might be very indicative of a tight setup conditions here, guys. I'm watching these guys going into the turns, and typically at New Hampshire, you see them down right on the apron line down there, on that yellow line. And that's not what we're seeing here tonight. For the most part, what I'm seeing is guys are taking that middle lane and even making that upper lane work here tonight. So, Ben, that's pretty indicative of a tight conditions here tonight. All right, I guess Ben has stepped away here for a little bit, but Dakota, I know you've been out here at New Hampshire behind the wheel a few times. Is that what you're seeing as well?
yeah, when I went out here, I tested the other day just to see, heck, if I could come out and, just play around at the track, and it's not even fast on the bottom lane. I mean, as you see, they're running a battle lane up off the bottom where the groove is. Trying to run that bottom is actually a little bit slower than, say, somebody running the top lane. And the second split of the B car is if just watching that whole thing, the leader, Alex Scribner, I don't think he ever went to the bottom lane. Barely when he was in the middle. The top lane is the fastest lane around the track, I didn't believe.
And John Gregorio up here in 10th position, guys. He's about ready to give it up to the 26 car down here on the bottom. That's going to be Jonathan Cadell down here. It's almost touch coming off of turn 4 down the front stretch, across the start-finish line. I'll tell you what, Gregorio trying to hang on to that position up there on the top isn't going to make it work, I don't think. He's got traffic ahead of him as they're pretty much all over the track. Backs it off the throttle here, coming off of turn 2, and then, almost getting out of shape in front of him. Jonathan Cadell able to hang on to that machine up here, but he does get the position, move the 26 machine up another notch, guys.
Another battle up here, I believe. The 88 of Adam Roberts was, I believe, just going underneath Eric Arnold in the 47. The 88 coming up, I believe he just went past the 18 as well. So the 88 moving forward of Adam Roberts.
All right, guys, as things get worked out here on the track, let's take a gander over to the chat room over here. Always like to mix it up with the fans here on ETV Live. And looks like Blaze along for the ride tonight. Of course, Blaze signed on. He's going to be doing some work for us on pit road here next Friday night, I believe. JJ in the house. Metzger, he's watching the race here tonight. Scott B. Todd Granger, welcome to the chat room here tonight, guys, to New Hampshire Motor Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series here tonight, sponsored by Bobroll Racing, the VRC Mark II virtual racing seat. So in the meantime, 32 laps in the books here, guys, 120 on the board. So we still got quite a ways to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Already working off of a couple of cautions here. First one coming out on lap 9. That was the 94 and the 16 getting tangled up there a little bit. And then the 20 car here back on lap 14 on a restart kind of got the little the boot, I guess you call it. But and then I think big time spin on the backstretch. Got one upside down, flipping around. E-ticket ride on the backstretch, guys.
Hey, JD, I was watching that. I mean, I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like what the one just got really loose and just turned straight into the wall, and the 88 and the car behind him had nowhere else to go besides into the one side. I'm going to throw it down to John. John, you got it?
Guys, I believe he let it on his lid pretty hard, too. We're going to pull it back on the E-play here, guys. The number 1 car, John Gregorio, Gonna come through the corner here. He's gonna slide. The 26 is right in front of him. 88 behind him. I think he did this all on his own, guys. Oh, he just gets a snap loose condition, boys. He's gonna flip right over the 88's hood here. Wow, he's taking a heck of a ride along that fence line, guys.
Wow, and start the chamber music up, guys. He does that e-ticket ride when he gets on his lid and just goes around and around and around and around and around, cowboy. But that almost looks like that's something that he started all by himself. You know, you're right, John. I'm looking at it one more time here. He just gets wicked loose coming off a turn and tries to correct it, but too little too late, Dakota, and around he goes.
Yeah, JD, pit road's getting full, so we're actually going to throw it down the bend.
Yeah, guys, everybody, like the previous cautions, coming down, getting some new rubber on these tires. Landon Huffman going to win the battle off of pit road, not near the fuel window here. The fuel window for these guys tonight is going to be around lap 65 to 70. Might get interesting if we get a long green flag run here.
JD, didn't you say that Tad Granger was watching? He was in the chat room watching the show, but isn't he also on the track driving? He was 24th before that caution, I do believe.
Yeah, I think these guys got those funky little monitors on the dashboard of those cars down there, and they tune in to satellite TV or something. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, third caution coming out here in New Hampshire. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a quick commercial break. You're watching live ETV Live, cowboy. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
Alright, and we are back live here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, getting ready to go green here one more time, guys. Landon Huffman in second seat on the restart. That's going to be Nathan Bowers picking up the green flag tonight in the 85 machine, but tell you what, getting off to a pretty snaky little start there. Landon Huffman looked like he might have had problems with the old shifter there, cowboy. Nathan Bowers going to get the run on him, going into turn 1, contact with the 75. Coming around turn 2, 3 wide, comes to the turn, 25 on the bottom. Here comes the 4, contact with the 75. Holy cow, caution after caution. Wow,
JD,
right on the restart, guys.
JD, I think that was a little bit to do with the 85 being on cold or bad old tires, and he just kind of spun the tires on that restart, and Landon almost beat him to the line, so we had to stop so we didn't beat him, and I think that just arose a lot of trouble right there.
Yeah, and then here comes the 4 car trying to make it 3 wide coming through the turn here, right on a restart here, guys. Not the smartest thing to do here on cold tires. Let's take it on down to magic fingers for the rewind. What do we got, John?
Yeah, let's pull this right back from the restart here, JD. This seems like we're right where it all started. is there's going to be a driver here. The 4 car's already looking outside the 75, going to try and make it 2-3 wide here right on the start. 75 is going to go outside. He gets loose already. 4 car comes in here, makes it 4 wide. With the 85 left out in the woods here. And then they're going to come through here, and the 4 car is just going to come up and hit the 75 of Landon Huffman here, guys. And then they're all going to go for a ride. The 4 and the 75. Don't look like there's going to be a whole lot of damage to Huffman's car. I mean, there's a little damage on the left side, but that 4 machine definitely took the blunt.
Yeah, I'm looking at some numbers here. Nathan Bowers, trying to figure out how many laps. So he had a significant number of laps on those tires. So I don't know, but not that many, Dakota. So I don't know that it was a tire issue really with the Nathan Bowers machine, but certainly drifted up into the 75. That started that whole ball game rolling up there. Somebody's got to get off the throttle. And, of course, here comes the 4 and everybody else piling in right behind them. I think just a little bit too much, you know, going into turn 1 on a restart for sure.
JD, I think just even more than a restart on those tires really hurt you. As we saw the 8 of, who was it? I believe it was the 8 Attack Ranger. He got up there and he spun the tires. And Landon Huffman, he's been able to hang on to it all night, even on old tires, fresh tires. Fresh tires, though, I haven't seen anybody on fresh tires really spin the tires a whole lot. But it gets to be tricky, especially in this car. I've been in this car. I've had a little bit of troubles on the restarts. Tires are a big part of that at times.
Yeah, Bowers had about 20 laps or so, according to my calculations, on a restart on those tires. So, you know, that might have been the reason why he drifted up out of the groove there a little bit going into turn, or actually coming off of turn 2. Going into 1, he was just fine, but just a little bit too much on the throttle, I think, coming back off the turn there, going through 2, drifts up into the 75. But let's go ahead and take it on down to pit road. I believe Ben has caught up with the driver of the number 1 car, John Gregorio, who went for one of those e-ticket rides here at New Hampshire. Ben?
Yeah, guys, I'm down here with John. John, man, you took that was a wild ride. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I got a little loose there and tried to catch it, and I had it saved, and then it snapped around again, touched the wall. And then I'm not sure how I got over, but once I started flipping, it never stopped, it seemed like.
Went for an e-ticket ride. How'd you head?
That'd be fine. I just got little bruises here and there.
Guys, he's going to be alright. He's a pretty tough little dude. That's John Gregorio. Back to you guys. It looks like lights are off, and they're getting ready to crank them back up.
All right, John Gregorio on the caution back on lap 33. Of course, wow, what an e-ticket ride he took down the backstretch. But this one, working caution number 4 here, guys. I'll tell you, trying to go 4 wide coming off turn 1 and 2 here on the restart. That's kind of a no-no here, guys. Picking up the green flag one more time out here as we get the restart. It's going to be Scott Heckert, Dwayne Vincent up in front. David Lanza has been hanging out in the top 5 all night long. Hey, look out. Here comes Chad Cole. He's in that number 17 DeWalt machine tonight. And R.J. Williams in 5th position as we pick up the green flag. We're back to racing. Keep an eye on turn 1, Cowboy. Here we go again.
JD, our points leader, a little bit in trouble here. Landon Huffman back up to 27th. Last car on the restart there on the outside lane. Look for him to try to move forward, as that's what he looks like he's doing right now.
21 car and 27 up here, 6th position. 21 making contact with the 27 car coming off the turn. And now Alan Lewis, G. Alan Lewis down here in the 4 machine in 30th position. Down here on the bottom, he's real slow on the track, staying out of the way, letting everybody get past. Probably a smart thing to do. I think he's having, word has it, he's having some kind of issues with the car, guys, so we'll keep an eye on G. Alan Lewis at number 4 machine at 30th position. In the meantime, everybody get past him up here. The 83 car in 20th position back here, that's going to be Jay Horton. He's got the 91 Gottschalk out in front of him along with Doug Ross, so they're kind of a gaggle of cars up here in front. Take it up to Greg Netherwood, 17th position, guys, in that 14 machine, the FX Capra car up on the outside here. They sort it all out coming down the front stretch. And you know, Dakota, like I was saying, my experience here being in New Hampshire for the last couple, 3-4 days, you know, watch these guys. They're going to get after it for the first 4 or 5 laps. Then it's going to be kind of settle in, get the rhythm going. And if you get the opportunity, go ahead and take it. But it's just going to be a ride around till that green flag pit stop or the caution comes out again.
Well, you want to go while those tires are fresh and you've got some grip, because, you know, after they fall off, either the car's going to get really loose or really tight, and it's going to be hard to do anything with it. So that's, I think, what that has a part to do with why they're racing so hard so early, and then they're just going to kind of ride back out probably about single file. You might see a little bit of double file racing, but this track is hard to pass in itself, very difficult track, and I think that, you know, the long run's really not going to help anybody, especially with the handling of this car, the way it seems.
46 laps in the books here at New Hampshire, guys, and it's got that single file look to it already. As the caution comes out here again, I'm hearing it's the 3 car. It's going to be Watkins in 21st position, guys. Roll it backwards here a little bit, and looks like he had some help too. I think it might have been out of the 88 machine, John. It looks like they make contact coming into the turn here, and the 3 car just gets out of shape, and around it goes. All right, let's take it on down to Magic Fingers for the E-Wine. John, show us what happened, bud.
Let's see if we can see what happened to the 3 car. And like you said, JD, I think I've seen him get a little help. Might have been for that 88 machine. I'm not quite sure, but he's going to come into the corner. That 88's just going to overdrive it a little bit, come underneath, and the 3's going to come down just ever so slightly. They're just going to make contact here, guys. Nowhere for either one of them to go, really. 3 cars going to back it into the wall ever so slightly. Not a whole lot of damage, but you got to love seeing that 3 machine out there, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, who's going to finish second? Hal Beardsworth. I think that rings a bell, doesn't it? Well, other people might think it has something to do with some other famous guy, but John and I know what that number 3 car is famous for. But that's going to bring quite a few of them down pit road, guys. Kind of half and half here. Take it on down to Ben. Ben, what's happening down there, bud?
Yeah, guys, it was a hard call for the crew chiefs and the drivers to either stay out or come in, and they thought, well, it hasn't been that long. We haven't got that many green flag laps in. Although Adam Roberts, Jason Elrod, Eric Arnold, and a few others did come down, they're probably just going to ride around here at the back of the pack and try and get some racing in towards the end of the race here.
All right, caution number 5 coming out here at New Hampshire. Why don't we go ahead and cut away? We'll take a quick commercial break, so don't wander off, cowboy. We'll get another cold one. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. back here a little bit. Landon Huffman, your pole sitter, restarted in 15th. So Huffman's got 13 more cars he's got to roll up in through here to get back up to the front here. But Ronnie Potts in 22 cars, 7th position, down on the inside, trying to get around the 18 machine. I'll tell you what, that's just a gaggle of cars all over the track, and not a whole, there wasn't a whole lot of them that came down pit road. So pretty much all these guys up here in the front stayed out. So of course only a few laps on the tires, not even 10 laps I don't think from that last caution. But in the meantime, R.J. Williams back here in 9th position. He's got the 84 machine of Jimmy North up in front. North was having some pretty good luck at Daytona last week, managed to finish in the top 10. But Jimmy North in that 84 machine looking for a good finish here at New Hampshire here tonight.
JD, everything's getting wild back here. The 43 getting sideways. He slid all the way up the wall, touched it just a little bit. His car probably not hurt too bad, but I mean, he almost got into trouble. The 8, he's going backwards. I think he's just pulling over for some of these guys. There's a few cars out here that stayed out on those old tires, and they look like they're going backwards in a hurry.
You know, I'm a Mark Martin type of fan. Any chance I get to come down pit road, Cowboy, it's going to be 4 tires and fuel, and a track, especially a track like this. I'm back here with Jonathan Cadell, 13th position back here. He's got the 16 and the 75. Landon Huffman, who has already worked himself up to 11th position, restarted 15th back here, guys. And I'll tell you what, if you saw the pre-race show here tonight, you saw Landon Huffman wheeling that 75 machine at Hickory Speedway up there in North Carolina. This is why this cat is number 1 in the points. I mean, you know, just in a matter of about 3 laps here, guys, from 15th all the way up to 11th. Scratch that, make it up into the top 10 here at New Hampshire. But in the meantime, in the back here, a 16 car and a 26 down here on the bottom duking it out as well. That's going to be for position back here as contact with the 26 machine, Jonathan Cadell. Watching these guys go at it here for a couple of laps.
Is it too wide? I don't know who that was, but Nathan Bowers, I believe, driving in way deep, trying to get around the 83, I believe, of Jay Horton, if I'm correct on the numbers there. That was a deep drive.
Yeah, you know, it's all about position here, and you've only got 3 or 4 laps to get it here from the restart. So, you know, a lot of good battles going on the track here as they try to get what they can here, you know, right off the restarts. But here pretty soon, about another 3 or 4 laps, it'll start settling down here, single file run. Still haven't seen anybody try to work that apron line down there like you usually see here. So guys are a lot of these guys working with tight cars here tonight, probably looking for that long run to get loosened up a little bit. Don't know if that's going to happen, Cowboy. 5 cautions in the books here already at New Hampshire, and still watching the 26 back here. Some pretty good action happening back here, about 11th position. 11th and 12th, Addison up here in front in that 94 machine. He's got that 75 with Landon Huffman up there as well. So and then kind of a roadblock in front of Huffman with the 22 machine and the 84 of Jimmy North. So a little bit of a battle happening back here. It's Huffman looking for a way around all these guys.
JD, a battle no more. David Lanza just went around the 13 as we have caution on the track. Not sure where it's at.
All right, the 6th caution of the night coming out here, guys, as we try to cycle around here and figure out where it came from. I'm seeing a 65 car, Ed Williams Jr., guys, back here about 29th position. He's going around, but actually it started way up in front of him. It's going to start with that number 3 machine and the number 4, guys. In fact, I believe the number 3 got wicked loose coming off the turns, can't hang on to it down the front stretch, heads to the outside wall. Here comes the 4 car. They connect, and that just starts the chain reaction right here in front of the fans on the start-finish line. Let's take it on down to Magic Fingers John Weston for the E-Wine.
And let's see if we can see what happened in that beautiful 3 Miller Genuine Draft Machine we were just talking about earlier. Maybe we gave him the ETV jinx, JD. He's going to come through the corner here. That car seems like it's leaning off a lot to the right. He just snaps loose like we've seen the last caution here. 4 cars right behind him. He's trying to whoa up, but he's going to make contact with a 3, kind of airlift the back of that machine around. Wow, the 69 is going to come right through the middle and kind of get sandwiched, guys.
Wow, there's an e-ticket ride. Ought to jump in the passenger seat of that 69 car and go for a ride looking out the windshield.
JD, pit road's getting busy, so we got to throw it down the bin.
Yeah, guys, it's about that time. Fuel, they're packing it as much as they can get in there. Fresh Goodyear rubber all around the cars. And these guys, the wrenches are in the windows of every single car down there trying to loosen these things up. These guys are screaming on the radio how tight these cars are to drive. I've even talked to a few crew chiefs that were going to boost up the left rear corner, or the left rear tire, excuse me, to get the car to rotate in the corner a little bit better. But tight, tight, tight is the word in the pits today.
Tight, 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 coming from the crew chiefs and drivers down there. I'll tell you what a night of racing here at New Hampshire. 6 cautions in the book here so far, guys. Why don't we plug some of our sponsors here tonight again? How about doing a plug for ETV Live? How's that, Cowboy? The leader in sim broadcasting, ingenuity, innovation, and vision. And ETV Live has set the bar in providing the best in online simulation out of sports broadcasting. Enjoy the after show. And I'll tell you what, Cowboy, John Wessling is piling them up over there in the after show. 24-hour network featuring reruns of ETV Live's top racing events. And don't miss the weekly series here at Real Sim Racing here on Monday nights, Full Throttle Cup Racing. And then again on Friday nights, the Friday Night Showdown. Last race coming up this Friday, Chicagoland Speedway, Cowboy. It's going to wrap up the season for the Friday Night Showdown, sponsored by Mercer Trucking. You want to catch that one live here at 8:30 p.m. on ETV Live. And check out the website, etv-eplay.net. Sign up in the form over there. We just integrated with Race Department, racedepartment.com. I'll tell you what, those guys have been around for quite some time. And got a pretty nice article going on the front page over there. So check them out, racedepartment.com. In the meantime, back over here at New Hampshire Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, guys. What a night we're having here tonight. Of course, nothing really that unusual. Kind of expected to see a number of cautions here at New Hampshire. We've been here all night long, or all week long, camped out in that 1958 ETV Live Winnebago downstairs behind the garage. In that little dirt area over there in the corner, not even near the parking lot. It's like 100 yards to the nearest privy. So I don't know why John parked it that far away from the restrooms.
I don't know about you, JD, but I've been flying back and forth. I've been spending some time up Chicagoland, and I'll tell you what, Friday night I'm looking for a show, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dakota, you're like a superstar here now on ETV Live. You get the best of everything. Heck, you got the brand new office chair the other day. I mean, I'm still sitting on this wooden bench over here. Green flag. Jonathan Cadell picking it up for the first time tonight. Eric Arnold in tow on that 47 as he takes turn 2 real wide, or turn 1 rather, real wide. Come off of turn 2 in good shape. 27 car, Guy Snyder getting around. Oh, contact with the 75. And the 75 hanging on to it. Caution coming out with the 13 and a 75 making contact, guys.
Wow, JD, several cars getting piled up there.
Yeah, you know, I'm seeing patience being thrown clear out the window and being replaced by a lead foot here at New Hampshire tonight. As I'm looking at the 75. Well, let's take it on down to John. I think he's got it on the E1. John, what do you got for us, bud?
Yeah, let's see if we can cue this up, guys. I'm kind of losing count of how many cautions has been here tonight. It looks like if they get going, they're all right, but it's just these restarts are killing them. So there's a car wobbling in front of him, the 75 machine. He's going to wobble around, and we're going to make contact with that 13 as he's trying to get it back straight. That 13 is going to do a power slide, boys. Here goes the 10 car. I believe that's John Abbott. Oh, wow. He's rubbing the wall to miss him. Oh, just ever so slightly misses him, JD.
And I'm watching the speedometer inside some of these cars, guys, looking at my telemetry, and there's a few of these guys down here, Dakota. They're not even, all this is happening out in front of them, and not a one of them lifting off the throttle when they see these cars getting wildly, wickedly out of shape in front. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but some more mayhem here at the backstretch of New Hampshire.
Yeah, JD, and another part of that is sometimes you can't trust to lift off the throttle or slow down for a right because you don't trust the guys behind you not run in straight to the back of you like they usually do.
Yeah, guys, we've seen this all week. I mean, we've been broadcasting New Hampshire Speedway all week long. Even in the B car, they were really struggling badly at this track, and this is the tough A car here, the Cup car, and these guys are having a little bit more trouble than the rest of them.
You want to know my view on it, guys?
Go ahead, Ben.
Afraid we're going to get it.
It's a butt and a half. There you go. That's my view on New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Butt and a half. All right. All right, guys. This is going to be caution number 7 coming out here at New Hampshire. And our points leader heavily involved in that one, but didn't look like he took a whole lot of damage. So I'm sure he'll get it pretty much straightened out.
JD, one of the best things about New Hampshire, even if there are several cautions, the cautions are relatively short.
Relatively short. All right, then we're going to try to make contact with. I think we're going to try to get on the radio with Tad Granger. Guys, let's Tad. This is JD up in the booth. Have you got us, bud?
I got you all clear.
Hey, Tad. What's going on down there, bud? 6, 7 cautions on the books here already. What do you think's happening down there, bud?
Well, in my situation, the tires, man, it's really tight and it's really hard to pass here, and I think it's really getting into some of the drivers, and they're pushing it a little more and more, and I think that's what's causing these cautions. I know on the restarts, it's really loose. You can make up a lot of positions, and everybody's trying to take that to advantage, and it's just crazy, but.
And Tad, Dakota Erman up here in the booth. I know you do a lot in the B car. I think this is one of your first races up here in this big bad A car, Cup car, whatever you want to call it. You've been on New Hampshire a few times in the B car, I believe. What's the difference between the B car and the A car here?
Sorry about that. Crew chief giving me a little word about the pace wave car coming back, but yeah, running the B car, they're a lot more stable. You can pass a lot more, but these cars have so much power on the restarts. You really got to be really careful coming off the corners, and it's just a lot to learn. This is my first race in these cars, so just out here trying to learn and stay out of the way. But gonna have some fun tonight, and hopefully bring out just the finish.
All right, that's Tad Granger. Good luck to you down there, bud. We're going to go ahead and cut you loose. I see the lights are off on the pace car, so we'll go ahead and cut you loose. And I know you got some work to do down there, but thanks for joining us. All right, as we get set to restart one more time here, guys. Jonathan Cadell out in front, Eric Arnold, Guy Snyder hanging around up there in the front. Terrell and Lanza, your top 5. Lanza, of course, taking the trophy home from Daytona last week. Pace car pulling down pit road, and we are back racing at New Hampshire here.
It's amazing how some of these guys up front are able to hang on. I'm telling you, JD, on these restarts on those old tires, these things are loose, and they're a butthole to hang on to, that's for sure.
All right, watching Chad Cole here in a 17 machine, 6th position, guys, 84 on the inside, as it looked like the 84 almost looking to take it 3 wide, 27 of Guy Snyder down on the bottom, but the 84 backs out of it here a little bit. You know he can't get past the 17 car up here, but Chad Cole looks like he's having a pretty decent night here at New Hampshire tonight, guys.
Guy Snyder going backwards, but Chad Cole, I believe he's one of the first cars on those fresh tires. He's coming to the front, JD.
He's got the 21 of R.J. Williams in behind him, but Guy Snyder is drifting backwards here just a little bit. Guy's staying down here on this bottom lane down here. He does have some traffic up on the outside. Here comes the 16 of Steve Ritter in that number 16 car for position. 9th position inside the top 10. As looking backwards here a little bit, the 84 car still occupying real estate on that outside lane up here next to the 27 of Guy Snyder. So again, these guys are looking for positions early here because they know if this thing goes green, they're going to have to settle in for probably a long single file race here for a while, you know, until the next caution comes out or until green flag pit stops.
And JD, just to kind of point out how important track position is here, I believe there were multiple cars that took 2 tires on that last pit stop. Scott Heckert took 4. He was leading the race. He is now back in 17th, and he's having quite a bit of trouble making up a whole lot of ground in that 25 car. But I do believe this is one of the first weeks in a few weeks that he's actually been driving his own car instead of driving for somebody else.
Alright, substitute driver, I know he fills in quite a bit for a couple of guys here at Real Sim Racing. Back here in 12th position, the 43 car, Doug Roth. He was going to tangle with the 88 car there for a little bit. 88 looking for position as he runs up on the 8 car. It's going to be Todd Granger up there. We just talked to him on the radio here just a little bit. Granger trying to hang on position, but the 88 moving alongside, going down the backstretch.
Tell you what, we got the 18, I believe it's a 47, Eric Arnold almost touching us. They come out of 3 and 4, I believe, there, JD.
Scott Heckert in 15th position, guys. He's in that number 25, driving for Huffman Racing. Now, that's the colors that we usually see on the Huffman Racing team. However, tonight, 75 car, Landon Huffman's machine, got that bright pink paint job on it. Oh! Trouble on the Speedway again, guys.
And it just looked like the 33 drove in and got the 18 just a little bit, turned him right around. David lands in the 33 there.
Alright, so we roll it backwards here and down the backstretch back here, looking at it on my monitor here, and tell you what, when these guys get after it, they're getting it with some help. Let's take it on down to John Wessling for the E-Wind.
Yeah, guys, let's see what we can see here. These guys are just diving in these corners so hard. The 33 is going to dive in here, and he just drove in that corner way too hard. Makes contact with that 18. Either that or had brake failure in that 33 Budweiser machine. Going to put that 18 car hard in the outside wall, guys.
And Dakota, this is what I was seeing during practice. You know, these guys just driving it so hard into the turns. And then, you know, when you jump up off the throttle, it sends all the weight to the front end of the car, and then you got to apply the brakes. And when you do that, it just buries the nose of the car into the ground, brings that back end up off, and then of course you lose traction, and you know, around you go.
Hey, JD, so, don't you love how we can just sit here and analyze and tell everybody what they did wrong?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, this is the safe area up here, dude.
It's like Landon Huffman said, the setup is like it wants to drive in deep, but then it just won't turn. So it's part of this track is unique in the way that people feel they have to drive it to be quick here. And I've heard several people throughout the week saying you got to drive in so deep or deeper than you actually think you want to. It's something weird that they had this car at most of the tracks. They say wants to back up the corner, doesn't want to drive in deep like it has been, and it's just odd track for most.
Nathan Bowers heading down pit road, and looks like he's going to get at least 2 tire changes. Let's send it on out to Ben. Ben, what are you hearing down there on pit road, bud?
Not much, JD. The first time all the leaders came down pit road except for 2. David Lanza stayed out to get some points, and RJ Williams still going to stay out. They haven't made up their mind yet if they're going to drag him down this time or not, but all the other guys behind him took on fresh rubber, so if he doesn't come down, watch for him to drop like a rock.
And or spin those tires on that restart, JD. That's another thing. And Landon Huffman just went up and hit the wall on a pace lap. He spun the car coming off a pit road. Landon Huffman in trouble, JD.
Alright, 75 machine in trouble. Why don't we go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break here. You're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboy. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back, and you didn't miss a thing right there with the E-view going on there. Green flag, RJ Williams picking it up here on this restart. And a little bit better restart. The caution comes out here again, guys.
I believe Steve Ritter just kind of drove into the 8, attacked Granger a little, just drove in the corner a little bit too hard. I believe it was 16, and just kind of got into the 8 right there. So I'm going to start down to John. I believe he's got it on the E-plate.
Cure up one more time, boys. See what happened here. 8 cars trying to make a move on the outside of the 25 here. They're riding along the wall. 16's got a spot in the inside here. Tad in that 8 machine's going to go on the outside. They just made contact, guys. Can't quite see. I'm not even going to try and say whose fault it was. Granger's going to take a hard look at the outside wall. ETV Jinx at work one more time, boys.
Granger going for an E-ticket ride into that outside wall. And, you know, I was just watching right here on my monitor again here in Dakota. And the 16, I mean, he just basically didn't move an inch. I mean, he's got the property. He did have, I don't know if that was somebody down on, no, he was by himself there. But, you know, watching these guys drive, they've been pretty much driving that middle lane, going through the turns all night long. So, had to have been an expectation out of that 8 machine to figure that the 16 was still going to be there coming through the middle of the turn.
Yeah, it's the lane of this track is. I honestly spent so much time on this today. I don't understand how they drive this thing. Honestly, JD, it's confusing in itself. The 16 drove in really hard, and then the 8. I just don't know that he didn't realize he was it clear or what was happening there. But as I watched it live, I was like, wow.
Yeah, sometimes you got to wonder if the spotters are even awake. But tell you what, I know who is awake. That's going to be Metzger along for the ride over here in the chat room. Gail and Chad, Brad at 659, watching the race here on the ETV Live. And time to do a couple of more plugs here while we talk about race department. And I'll tell you, We have just, ETV Live just recently integrated over there at Race Department. We scrapped our forum for a forum board over at Race Department to kind of broaden our horizon a little bit, bring oval racing over there to Race Department in a big way. But if you're looking for a quality race community to get the latest news in sim racing, find a place to race, or if you just want to keep up to the latest equipment, you can do it over there at racedepartment.com. Race Department, a full-service sim racing community, including forums, news, and live broadcasts. Racedepartment.com. Join up over there today, just like ETV Live did here just recently. So this is the ninth caution of the night here, guys. The 16 and the 8 getting after it here on lap 80, and 120 laps on the board here. So we still got roughly 40 laps. Let's call it 37 laps or so left to go here. Well, tough night here in New Hampshire, Dakota.
Yeah, and JD, tough night gets even tougher for Steve Ritter. He was given an EOL penalty by race control for that little incident there, so he's going to have to charge back to the front like he did before.
Yeah, penalty. That's going to be a long line penalty for being involved in that caution, for sure. And I'll tell you, it's bad enough to try to work yourself up through the gaggle of cars here in New Hampshire to begin with. Nonetheless, have to put up with a penalty that sends you all the way to the back after working so hard to get up to the front or near the front. But I'll tell you what, who's not in the front, and that's going to be Landon Huffman. Huffman, the victim of a caution back on lap 63, did quite a bit of damage to that machine, and then had some difficulty getting onto a pit road. Managed to take a couple of souvenirs with him from the wall. He's going to be restarting here pretty much dead last, guys, with Joseph Hayes back here in the back. So Landon Huffman, your pole sitter tonight in that bright pink and yellow machine, not having the night he expected here at New Hampshire. As we get set to take the green flag, it's going to be R.J. Williams, Jonathan Cadell, Arnold Heckert, and Jimmy North out in the front.
JD and R.J. Williams is going to tremendous restart there, but he is on, I believe, one of the cars on the oldest tires out there. I believe that 26 might be on just a little bit fresher tires and might be able to run him down here, JD, relatively quickly.
Jason Elrod back here in 10th position, that number 70 Castro machine down here on the bottom. Almost going 3 wide. Oh, almost. Caution coming out again here, guys. I'm hearing it's Jimmy North in that 84 machine as he sits sideways on the track here, gets it refired and out of the way. But looks like he might have had some help as well, guys. Might have been that 88 machine. In fact, it was. The 88 machine kind of helps the the 84 car around here, guys.
John, what you got for us, bud?
Hey, let's cue this up, guys, one more time. See what happened here to Jimmy North. Jimmy North's going to come in the corner. That 88 car's going to drive her in hard. Oh, boys, I can't really even tell what happened there. It looked like the 84 just slowed down and they just made contact. It didn't really look like the 84 drove her in too hard or anything like that. They just, wow.
JD, when I was watching this right after that, I mean, the 18 was trying to avoid that. I believe he got in a little bit of contact with the 22 and went for a ride to the grass. Not much. His car looks all right. So the 18 just almost getting in trouble there as well.
Tough night at New Hampshire for sure, guys. I'll tell you what, working caution number 10 here, the 84 and the 88 tangling right here off of turns 3 and 4. And, you can, these cars can take a pretty good beating here at New Hampshire. Short track racing, 1 mile track. But what can't take a beating is the old blood pressure and mindset, I guess. Patience is taking a beating too, I guess.
Well, I guess everybody likes that short track bumping and banging, and that's what these guys are trying to provide tonight. A little bit of short track bumping and banging, but I believe we have a few guys coming up pit road to see one at least, so let's throw it down a bin.
Yeah, guys, a few guys had a little bit of damage from the previous caution, just trying to get caught up on their repairs. No really major changes down on pit road, all the leaders staying out, keeping that ever so important track position here at New Hampshire.
All right, caution number 10 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and gosh, I think we've just about worn out most of the commercials, so why don't we do another plug for our sponsor, the VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Seat. And let me tell you something, Cowboy, you know, no better person than to design your racing chassis, racing cockpit for racing these online simulation games than a real race car driver. Bob Earl, he's a championship race car driver. He knows what it means to have a comfortable, comfortable racing seat. I mean, you're going to be stuck in this thing for a couple of hours like we are here tonight at New Hampshire. I tell you, the design features a fully adjustable racing seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount are sold separately. A very high quality and very affordable alternative. I mean, this is a Christmas present, birthday present for a lot of these youngsters out here. You know, it's a good affordable alternative to a lot of those others of the same deal, same design that costs thousands of dollars, $349 plus shipping. You can take a look at it over at BobEarlRacing.com. Order one today, Cowboy. BobEarlRacing.com.
Tell you what, JD, you gotta get one of those. You can't just go to Walmart and try to find something, because I guarantee you it's just not gonna work as well as one of those designed by a real race car driver, and you know that's gotta mean something.
Absolutely, and you know, after talking to Bob Earl and you know, meeting up with him and talking about this whole program, I'm convinced, Cowboy. I mean, who better than to design your custom racing chassis than a race car driver? So, you know, certainly beats some dude walking in off the street into a bar, you know, and scratching one out on a piece of scratch paper. But BobEarlRacing.com, take a look at it over there as we get set to go back to green flag racing. Your pace car is off. R.J. Williams piling up those green flags on the seat beside him. Cadell, Heckert, Arnold up here in front. Guy Snyder been hanging around up here too, guys, doing a good job.
Almost getting 3 wide, the back again, and the 18.
Oh, 47 in the middle. Oh, didn't mean to cut you off there, Dakota. The 47 car of Eric Arnold on the move, Cowboy. He's on the bottom up here in the front with the 26 up on the outside, almost going 3 wide back here.
Remember Scott Heckert, remember how he was back in about 19th? He's sitting second, gonna run down that leader.
Oh, David Lanza going around, guys. That's going to bring out caution number 11. Huge crash on the front stretch here. And it almost looks like you're going 3 wide up here, up on the turn, coming off of turn 4 here, heading down the front stretch here. Guys are just getting out of shape. The 18 comes along the inside up here. Let's take it on down to Magic Fingers, John Westling for the E1.
Let's pull us back one more time, guys, and they are almost 3 wide. 33 of Lanza on the inside. The 18 machine on the outside is going to come down. 94 squeezes by here. Lanza's just trying to get a few positions here. Comes back across the bottom here. Oh, wow. Now, the 18 almost punts him here, but he moves up the high line into the middle. They're 3 wide, and Lanza's coming through the corner here. Him and the 18 are awfully close. Lanza's coming back down. Wow, the 18 just turned right into Lanza, guys.
John Abbott just lost his engine on the track. I don't know that it's confirmed, but I believe he might be out of the race for right now. We'll see if we can't get Ben to get some more information on that.
Yeah, guys, the team's down here looking at the car. They're going to decide whether they want to fool with it with this many laps left, or just to pull it back behind the wall. Once I get confirmed what they're doing, we'll have it for you guys.
All right, there's mayhem at New Hampshire here tonight, guys. Mayhem at New Hampshire here tonight with the Full Throttle Cup Series here with Real Sim Racing. I'll tell you, tough track, like Dakota was talking about. It's been tough all week. We've been watching both divisions, both the A and the B car. John, what do you got, bud?
Guys, I'm going to pull it back into Abbott's car. I'm going to back it up here just a little bit. It wasn't quite queued in here. We can watch this right out of John Abbott's machine here. He's going to come down the front stretch, sees all this happen, dives down to the inside where you would think this would help, but that 22 car lands right in his path, nowhere for Abbott to go, as he's going to just hit him head on that right about the start-finish line, guys.
Wow, I tell you what, you won't see those kind of camera angles on any other broadcaster out here. You'll see it first here on ATV Live. I'll tell you what a shot. Nice close-up of the action happening down on the front stretch. And I think, let's go down to Ben. I think Ben has caught up with John Abbott. Ben, what do you got for us, bud?
Yeah, I'm down here with John. The race didn't go probably like you planned today, and you took some hard hits right there. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it's all about track position here, and I was playing the track position game. Actually took 2 tires there and would have been out at the point, but I had some guys stay out. And of course, they ended up getting into each other coming out of 2 down the back stretch, and I got caught up in that. So trying to recover from that, I had a lot of repairs done, and the car was driving pretty good. Just working my way back up, and then got caught in that wreck there on the front stretch. So just wasn't my night. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Hey, John, this is JD up here in the booth. I'll tell you something, Cowboy. I've seen guys like Dale Jarrett peel the fenders off of his race car and drive around the track. You got the same plan going down there for yours?
Yeah, I didn't hear it. It's noisy down here in the pits, JD. I didn't hear all of that. But yeah, just man, if you could put a dent or take some sheet metal off the car, it happened tonight with my car, that number 10 Gatorade car.
All right. Pace lights are off on the pace car, and as they come off the turn here, we're going to go back to green flag racing, and John Abbott trying to get what body damage on that car fixed up and get back to racing out here. Pace car does pull off. We're back to green flag racing. R.J. Williams, he's stacking them green flags up on the seat next to him up here. Scott Hickert, Eric Arnold doing an outstanding job here in the 47 machine. And like you said, like John Abbott said, guys, it's all about track position. Got to get it early. And I think that's one of the reasons why the caution comes out here again, guys. Not sure. Need to roll it back here on my monitor ways and then cycle around, see what I can see. I don't see. Well, it's right here on the front stretch. Looks like it's going to be Nathan Bowers in the 85 machine, 21st position, guys. Roll it back on my monitor and see what happens. Right here on the restart. Oh, they're going 3 wide on a restart, guys. Let's take it down to Magic Fingers, the legend on the E-Wine. John, what do we got, bud?
Yeah, let's cue this up one more time, JD. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to pull this right back from the restart. I think I seen 3 wide too when I was playing it back here, trying to get it queued up. 85's on the outside. You got the 17 on the inside here. In fact, the 16 comes to the inside, and they're 3 wide. In the 85, it looks like he just turned into the door of the 16. I mean, just not enough room there at the start-finish line here at New Hampshire. And here's another caution, JD. The flagman's got a good shot of it, though, JD.
Yeah, he does.
Flagman's getting his workout tonight too, eh?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from the Huffman machine down here, 75 car. 75's up on the outside, and I mean, he's holding his own here. And then suddenly they're 3 wide. So, almost looks like you know, one of those checkups, tire spin up in the front, the 85 car. I don't know, guys. Just tough night at New Hampshire is all I can say.
Hey.
Hey. All right, I tell you what, you know, I haven't even had a chance to go back to that buffet table, so I'm going to take it right here, right now. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break. You're watching live ETV Live, Cowboy. It's the only game in town from New Hampshire Motor Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. Alright, and we are back live. A lot of race chatter going on down there on the speedway between the spotters. Some of them asking who's monitoring the blocking. Blocking? Nah. But working off of caution number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, caution number 12. This one coming out here on lap 95. And let's count them up here. The 85, the 75, the 16 car involved. God knows what happened on that restart. Went 3 wide, and they just got it all mixed up right there at the start-finish line. So 12 cautions in the books here tonight, 101 laps in. And at least we're on the downhill side of things here tonight, guys.
Well, JD, you thought it was crazy before. 19 to go when we take this restart. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get racy. I guarantee you it's going to get real interesting, or it could be another baseline.
Well, I did fill my cooler up as we get going here one more time, Cowboy. The 47, Eric Arnold, down there on the bottom, up in the front, looking for position. He's going to get it as the 25 car just dives up out of the way and lets the 47 have it. But here they come, almost 3 wide, coming through the turn. Down the backstretch, 26 on the bottom. 27 of Guy Snyder almost looking like he might have wanted to take it 3 wide there just a minute ago, but backs out. Oh, contact with the 25 and the 26 machine.
JD, I'm so shocked at how that 47 drove that corner. That was kind of shocking. It's caution on the track. Let's see if we can. Tony.
Caution. The caution comes out here again, guys. And I'm hearing it's going to be the 15 machine of Tony Kaler right here on the front stretch.
Ooh, Steven Ritter gets in that. Ooh, hard hit. John, what do you got for us, bud?
Let's cue it up now, guys. See if we can see what happened here. The 15's on the inside, 88's behind him. They're coming through the corner here. Everything's looking good. 88 almost makes contact coming through that corner. They're going to come back down the backstretch here, guys. Coming into turn 3, and that 88's right awful close. They both ride up really high in the wall. 15's going to come off turn 4 here. Still racing hard with that 88. We got a 3 wide sandwich. That 19 car 15 car is going to take a hard lick, 88 and 16. 15's going to pinball off the inside and outside wall. Take a lot of damage here, guys, from that Huffman Racing number 15 machine.
Yeah, I tell you.
I don't know if I've ever used that one before, JD. A 3-wide sandwich.
3-wide sandwich.
Making me hungry.
You know, that 88 machine's been involved in a number of them here. So is the 16 car. I mean, it's a tough night here at New Hampshire for a lot of these guys, for sure. All right. That's going to be caution number unlucky 13 here, guys. I'm about ready to get out my joke book. Dakota, go ahead, bud.
JD, I think we got Eric Arnold on the radio over here. Eric, you got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
And how did you do that on that restart? I mean, it was like you drove the corner. I don't know how you drove the corner like you did, but you got around Scott Heckert, and then I think you just got caught up on the outside. But walk us through that lap, man.
Yeah, I just misjudged. Little adrenaline rush going, and it seems like we were just running caution lap after caution lap. So just trying to get up to the front before the race ends under caution, it seems like.
Did you close your eyes any in that situation?
Oh yeah, I got on the radio trying to get him to lay off because I was coming right up the track.
Eric, this is JD up here in the booth. Hey, bud, I'm looking over here in the chat room, and I don't see the other half, the better half here tonight. What's going on, bud?
I don't know. I'm actually having a pretty good night. Came in here thinking I was going to really do crap. The setup is just tight for me, and me and John, one of my teammates, we've been working together here trying to, we stayed out, and it's worked out real well for us.
JD, you remember the better half's in boot camp.
Oh, the better half's in boot camp. That's right.
Yeah, well, she's hating it. Well, we're about to. Oh wait, no, it's not green yet. Sorry, my bad.
No, we'll let you know when it goes green for sure, Eric. All
Eric,
right.
Hey, I got a quick question. Why is everybody keep wrecking, in your opinion?
I have no clue. Well, maybe it has something with what I did, driving in way too hard.
Well, Eric, where is the missus if she's out of boot camp?
She's out in Great Lakes, and she can't wait to get out.
10-4. Well, tell her we miss her in the chat room, buddy.
I will do.
As we're getting set to go back green, we're going to let Eric Arnold get back to racing when we have about 15 to go. So, JD, it's about to get interesting.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the 25 and the 47 down here, just kind of kissing the door handles. I'm not sure what this is all about, Cowboy, but I want to stay right here on the 25 machine. Scott Heckert, he's got the 47 down here on the bottom on the restart. So a little bit of kissing door handles there on the pace lap, so let's keep an eye on that situation. Pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit road. Green flag is up, and we're away here at New Hampshire for the 14th time.
47 not going to drive it down as deep as he did last time, but he backed up this corner, maybe going to get a run to the center on the 26. Going to stack up the guys behind him. They're coming almost 3 wide, JD. Ooh, the 26 and the 47.
Contact with the 47 and the 26 shoves them all the way down the track, no caution. And now the 83 machine out of hand, getting out of shape, into the wall.
Ooh.
And caution's going to come out here for the 14th time, guys. Wow, I've seen that one coming from a mile away.
Huge hit.
And I think that all started way back with the 26 car, guys, with Jonathan Cadell. Let's take it on down to John first, and then for the rewind. What do we got, John?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to take this one back to the restart. I'm going to leave this at full speed to show you how hard of a hit Jay Horton took here. As he's coming into this corner, he is going to take a massive lift. Somebody better get the airlift out here ready for Horton, because he's going to come through this corner, and he is going to hit this wall a ton. They're coming out of turn 2. You can see them almost 3 wide right in front of them. There's almost a wreck right in front of them. They end up 3 wide because of that. They get loose there. He hits this wall, comes through the grass, And guys, he is going to hit this wall a ton as he smacks it hard.
Yeah, that, you know, looking back on the replay here, guys, it was the 26 and the 47 car getting after it, coming off turn 2 here, and they trade door handles here. This is what I was talking about earlier on the pace lap at the start of the race here. And the 47 makes it past, but I think what was happening in the back, guys were watching that and probably checking up, getting off the throttle, going to see what the 26 and the 47 were going to do, how that was going to shake out, and then, of course, all hell breaks loose behind them. So, caution number 14 here at New Hampshire, guys.
Well, JD, as Sean would say, he would say the leader would be putting on a clinic. I don't know about anybody putting on a clinic, but these guys really need it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, a clinic at New Hampshire. See if we can't get the sign-up sheet out for these guys. All right, so caution number 14 here tonight, guys, is we're on the downhill side. That's probably the good thing. But I've been so busy at my desk here, guys, with all these cautions, I haven't even had a chance to go back here to the buffet table and check that one out.
I believe Chad's been down there, or up there, JD, and it's pretty much wiped out. He's out of town in a hotel, and you know what the hotel food's like, buddy.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see, where's my joke book? Looking over here in the chat room, we got a ton of people watching us here tonight. Of course, we do have a pretty good fan over here. Best in the work. He's a newcomer. I don't recognize the name, so good to have some company here in the chat room over here. Best of the work, Brad 659, Chad S, Jet Driver. I don't know who that is. But Ben, you got Jay Horton on the radio, I hear.
No, actually, JD just walked out of the infield care center. First, Jay, how are you after that tremendous hit?
I'm going to be sore in the morning, but we'll be all right. Just need to have the boys fix the car up, and I think we destroyed this one tonight.
Yeah, he took a very hard hit over there in 3 and 4. Jay, let me ask you how the car was handling in your opinion. Didn't get too many late runs here while you were behind the wheel, but how was the car? Was it tight, loose, on these little short stints?
Actually, it felt the best there the last probably 30, 40 laps. Again, we didn't get any long runs in, but once I took 2 tires, it seemed like it freed up, and that's the best I drove all night. I think the farthest I got up was 6th, but unfortunately we didn't have any long runs to see what it would do in a long run.
Guys, maybe those cars down there on the track right now will be driving good because we're getting ready to restart with less than 10 to go, and getting ready to have a restart. Back to you, JD.
All right, R.J. Williams, he's got a pile of green flags on the seat there next to him. Heckert up on the outside as we get the green flag. Back to racing again, the 47 machine. Eric Arnold down here on the bottom looking for position here. He's going to get it, or at least try to hang on to it. He's in 3rd right now, but he's got Jonathan Cattell breathing down his bumper down here in the 26 machine on the outside. Can't get it done as he goes single file coming off the turn. Heading down the backstretch, going into turn 3. Caution back out on the track. Here it's Jason Elrod in the 70 machine, guys. Again, trouble on the restarts here, and he's going to tangle with the 88 or the 84 car right here off the turn. 16 car involved. Let's take it on down to Magic Fingers, John Wessling for the E-Wine. John, you're working them buttons over tonight.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to have to get me something to eat. I'm tired. It's wore me out tonight. Is there almost 3 wide? Once again, got north on that 84 car in the center. 16 cars on the outside. They're going to come back out of the corner, almost 3 wide, settle it back down, and they just make contact north on that 84 car. He's had a really rough night. This 70 car is going to come down, smack that inside wall just a ton, guys. He hits it. Wow. What a hit. Wow, boys. And he rolls it. He puts the car on its side. He hits that wall so hard.
Wow. Why would you Well, I don't know. At 113 laps in, Dakota, I'm sitting here wondering, why would you take it 3 wide on a restart if you know the car was going to push and be tight all night long? So, I'm not sure if there's an answer to that question, but just thought I'd throw it out there.
Well, you know what they say, JD, cautions breed cautions. You got 10 laps to go, everybody trying to get every position they can here, and this is what you get.
Yeah, I guess.
And maybe
all
it's
right.
like idea to say, iRacing, fix New Hampshire!
JD, next flag could end the race. If we go green here, I believe we're going to have maybe a green-white checkers. Something close to that here, but if we do get a caution, it will end the race for tonight. If we go green, it will end the race for tonight. So either way, the race is going to end really soon. But I believe
All
Ben...
right. Go ahead, Dakota.
I was going to say, I believe we have something from Ben on pit road there.
Yeah, guys, I dialed up Steve Ritter, and I tell you what, he's had probably the worst luck here tonight. Steve, estimating how many cautions you think you've been involved in tonight?
Man, I don't know. I'll tell you what, if I didn't have bad luck tonight, I wouldn't have any.
Yeah, guys, he's been involved in at least a good, what, 4 or 5, Steve?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, boy. Well, Steve, other than the cautions, how is your race going? Is the car handling okay?
Yeah, the setup's a little tight. It's tough to get it to turn in the corner, but that's typical of New Hampshire. So, but it actually, you know, ironically enough, it seems like the damage is actually helping it turn. So, if I can keep away from some of these guys, I might be able to move up a little bit.
Sometimes that helps. Knock the wall down and it'll make the car turn a little bit better. Well, guys, we're going to send it back up to you. Less than 5 to go. Maybe Steve can stay out of a crash if it happens again.
Thanks, yes.
All right. Steve Ritter in that number 16 machine has had his fill tonight for sure, Cowboy. He started in 10th position here tonight. And, you know, he's been to the front, to the back, to the front. Right now he's sitting in 15th place. So, I tell you what, tons of damage on that number 16 machine. And Dakota, I think what we're going to see here, I think you're right. I think what we're going to see here is probably going to be a green-white checkered, and so this thing is winding down.
I believe actually it may be a green-green white checkered, JD. But hey, here's something I just kind of noticed looking at the field. There's a bright pink car and it's up front, and I believe that bright pink car might have a little bit of damage, but it's still up front, JD.
Inside the top 10, that's going to be the 75 machine of Landon Huffman. We talked to Landon during the pre-race here tonight. If you live in the North Carolina area and get over there to Hickory Speedway, you can catch Landon over there pretty much any, I think on Friday nights there at Hickory. Green flag, R.J. Williams picking it up here, but it looks like the 25 machine, Scott Heckert, might be having some electrical problems. And I tell you what, we're going to go around 2 more times here at Cowboy, and that's going to be it. So the next flag caution is out, and the race is over. R.J. Williams is going to pick up the trophy here tonight as the caution comes out for the last time at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And I'm hearing that it happened way in the back, guys. Going to roll around on the restart here. It looks like somebody just got checked up on the restart here. 91 machine of Stephen Gottschalk in that 18th place in that 91. Watching them on the restart here. Oh, they get all shaken up going down right here just past the start-finish line. And something happened way out in front of the 91 car, John, and they just get completely whacked out of shape up here. Of course, the 91 car is going to pick up the brunt of that.
Look at that 3 car, JD. He made it to the end. We see that car demolished a couple times tonight.
Yeah.
JD, that I believe you said the 91 picking up the brunt of that. Well, the 21 picking up the win tonight. This race will be over as they're on the white flag lap under caution here, JD.
You bet. R.J. Williams going to pick up the trophy here from New Hampshire tonight. And I'll tell you what a race this has been here tonight. It's counted, let's see, 16 cautions here tonight. So roughly Well, let's see. Somebody get a calculator out. I don't know. I don't know if John's even bought any batteries for these calculators up here or not, but...
Why is it always John's fault? I mean, why can't it be JD's fault? You're retired. Why can't you take your old butt to the dollar store and buy some cheap batteries?
Well, you keep the books around here.
You always blame it on me, old man.
In better news, guys, Steve Ritter didn't get caught up in that last caution.
Yeah, see, Chad even says, JD, go to the dollar store, get some batteries. Quit complaining about it.
I guess I'll have to. Heck, the secretary quit last week.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd work for you if I had to sit right next to you, JD.
Yeah, it seems like I've had 3 or 4 secretaries. They only last about 3 days, and then they quit. But R.J. Williams doing a terrific job hanging on to that front seat up here, and he's got a number of green flags sitting on that seat next to him. But Scott Hecker doing a fine job. Eric Arnold's going to finish 3rd here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So I'll tell you what, we're going to give R.J. a chance to burn what's left of his tires off right here at the start-finish line, Cowboy. Rev that machine up and burn them off. And as we take a look at the finishing order here at New Hampshire, Scott Heckert in 2nd, Jonathan Cadell finishing a solid 3rd place. 4th is Guy Snyder. Landon Huffman, who started on the pole, top 5 finish for him tonight. And then R.C. Rigdon, Jeff Addison, Greg Netherwood, Todd Granger, Chad Cole at number 17, DeWalt Machine for your top 10 here at New Hampshire. And while RJ is getting set to accept the trophy for tonight, well, I'm going to go ahead and step away, take a commercial break. When we come back, the VRC Virtual Racing Seat, Bob Earl post-race show right after this.
Sorry to hear what you did.
All right, welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We are here with Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, Cowboy. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm standing down here in Victory Circle with none other than R.J. Williams. I'll tell you what a night, R.J. Take us through your race here, bud.
Well, qualifying didn't work out too well for me. Kind of went in a little too hard on my first lap, so I thought I'd reset and try to get that second lap. It just barely grazed the wall off of 4 coming to the line, so had to start in the back. Thought I'd just play it safe and just work around them. Did a little pit strategy there in the, I think, 2nd caution or something like that, and took 2 tires and got up there, and then pitted with them and just tried to stay up there. And then there when Lenza and the 18 got together, and Lenza stayed out. I went ahead and stayed out. I thought that was a mistake, but apparently not.
Hey, this has got to look good for the points, too. You're sitting right on the cusp here, just outside the top 10. You had a solid top 10 finish at Daytona last week. This ought to be a pretty good points night for you.
Yeah, I think this gets me in the top 10 now, so I'm in the chase with wins. So that's number 3 for me, so I'm sitting probably 4th if we were to seed right now. So I'm pretty happy with that, especially with having less races than everybody else. But it doesn't stop here. We still got a couple more races and try to get a couple more wins. Get me up in those points.
All right, R.J. Williams taking a big one home from New Hampshire here tonight. Who made it happen for you, R.J.?
The whole Huffman Racing gang. Blast to hang out with them. Good race. A lot of clean. People giving room. You know, people checking up. That end, I'm glad the end ended like it did. But all in all, great race. I want to thank Bob Earl Racing Chassis for sponsoring the series, race department, and of course ETV for showing these online for everybody.
All right, R.J. Williams going home with a big one here tonight. I'm going to throw it on down pit road. I believe Dakota Irvin is caught up with our second-place winner tonight. Dakota?
Yeah, Scott Heckert started second, finished second. And remember, at one point in the race, he fell all the way back to 19th in the pit stops. Scott, what was the biggest trouble getting back to the front?
I mean, it's just hard to pass here. It's pretty much a one-groove racetrack. Everyone's you know, racing pretty hard up there, so just you really got to use pit strategy. So I ended up taking 2 tires to get up to about 6th, and then just working my way up position by position. Actually had something for RJ there at the end if cautions didn't kept coming out, but pretty happy with that.
What was the hardest part out there? I mean, you say passing was hard, and there was all kinds of 3 wide, 2 wide, and what was the most difficult part? What do you think was the biggest cause for the caution fest?
It's hard to pass, so and it's also hard to get on the brakes. So when people try to get to the inside to pass, they'd either overshoot or lock up the brakes and hit someone. It's just it's close racing that just ended up in a lot of contact.
Well, Scott, who makes it happen for you?
The whole Huffman Racing gang. We pretty much dominated this race. Landon led the first part, me the middle, and RJ the most important stuff. And that's pretty much it. Just Huffman Racing gang. Great guys.
Well, there you have it from your second place finisher. We're going to throw it even further down pit road. I believe Ben is caught up with your third place finisher, Eric Arnold.
Yeah, I'm down here with Eric Arnold, your third place finisher tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Eric, walk us through that caution-filled race.
Well, I had a poor qualifying attempt, but as the race went on, I took pit stop. Me and my teammate John fell back, and we just waited for everybody to pit. We went right up to the front, didn't take any tires, and we just stayed up there and actually held the lead, surprisingly. And we just stayed up there for the rest of the night, and one of us was hoping to take the checkered, but we just couldn't get RJ or Scott there. They were doing pretty good. Almost took out me and Scott in turn 1 on one of the restarts, but had a good race though.
Couldn't quite get it done. You came home third. I know you're pretty tired, but are you tired from racing or riding on a caution?
Well, I would say running under caution. I wanted to finish that race out. I really wanted to see if I had gotten under Scott on that last restart there. I don't know if I would have been able to pass him because the outside line is where you want to be when you're running side by side if you know how to drive it. But yeah, it was a good race though.
Good racing it was, and to come home third at New Hampshire Motor Speedway is a pretty big accomplishment. Eric, who makes it happen for you?
Well, my fiance down boot camp motivates me, and I got me and my teammates Joseph and Jonathan Cadell there, both running hard, so all running hard, and we push each other. So we work together. Me and John got good finishes out tonight, working together. Just had a little bad luck tonight, but good racing there.
All right, Eric, we thank you for stopping by after. JD, are you back from the dollar store?
I'll tell you what, New Hampshire Motor Speedway here tonight with real sim racing, full throttle.
JD, what are we going to do with 3 batteries? We need more than 3.
Oh, geez. Well, geez, you only gave me $1. Jeez. Dakota, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We've been camped out here all week long in that 1958 ETV Live Winnebago, but I'll tell you what, Cowboy, it's not like we've seen anything different happening here tonight. Just a tough track.
Yeah, my probably my thoughts after spending most of the week here. Just wow. The track is insane. Driving it's super hard, and the setup tonight was super tight from all the drivers, and it really is a difficult track, JD. And I'm looking forward to I believe I believe we're going to Indy this week, with or next week with Real Sim Racing, and I believe that's going to be something really interesting, JD.
But actually, we're going to get a week off. It'll be Indianapolis on the 30th of the month. They're July 30th on Monday night. So taking a week off, probably need a breather after duking it out here at New Hampshire. But there is some more racing coming your way before we get to that point. Thursday night, you don't want to miss this one, 9 o'clock p.m. on the Stock Car channel here at ETV Live. Big Dogs Racing at Martinsville. You want to catch that one right here on ETV Live. Friday night, the last one of the series. We're going to end it at Chicagoland, Cowboy. The Friday night showdown. Don't miss the action with David Bass, Michael Conti, Dakota Ehrman. He'll be along for the ride. Ben Kilcrease will try to get him down there on pit road as well, so it'll be quite a show from Chicagoland Speedway. But for right now, with Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for Dakota Ehrman, John the Legend Westling, Ben Kilcrease reporting from pit road. We'll see you next time on ETV Live.